Good day, YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's toy review. And I nearly wasn't going to be doing a toy review, but first off, I need to throw in one thing here. So, at the time I was making this video, it's Friday the 16th, before midnight. So, the drama that I just had on this morning, which was on the 16th of today, of course, yes, I'm filming it just before midnight. What you're seeing on screen here is not just my train set, but the tablet that I'm using. At the moment now, I just want to have my own 5 cents before I should straightforward move on to the actual toy review. This tablet was actually straightforward packed in my backpack, and I was actually on a trip to the Access Community Hub, but unfortunately I've left my tablet, which is the one that I'm using now, at the bus and the backpack. So there's been a lot of drama recently going around with my tablet. So one thing I'm actually sort of thinking is I might have to ground my tablet and prevent it from actually straightforward filming it outside of my neighborhood. So it's one of these things. I might as well just straightforward quarantine from actually filming at the moment. And I know I've still got a lot of stuff from my tablet at the moment that I'm straightforward depleting and also uploading onto YouTube. And also, you know, creating on one software, and that is Ibis Paint. But, so yeah, this is definitely not the first time that I left my tablet, and I definitely say to myself, hey, you know, I often think back to myself, when was the last time I've left my tablet before this incident occurred? Well, basically it was the Pen Museum, so honestly I couldn't really resist my eyes of just how stupid was I, and I actually forgot to bring my tablet. But lo and behold, so far from today, even though I was in a moment of anxiety and panic and also a deep level of stress, thank goodness my tablet has been found. A lovely chap, lovely lady who has actually found this tablet. I'd like to say thanks so much to the National Express West Midlands, who was actually commissioned to basically find this tablet, because if it wasn't for my support worker, or if it wasn't for the staff and for the combined authority, well, thank goodness. That was amazing. What an amazing alarm sound off from me. And thanks to my failures of being irresponsible, I might as well just straightforward have to learn about being responsible from these times, because I can tell you what, filming in public is something I would not normally do these days. But anyways, I might as well just straightforward stop yabbering about that, and let's move on to something a little bit more positive. So, in this toy review, I might as well just show you the toys I've got. And it's these ones right there, the Flip Flop Village Wild Collection toys. They're origami based, apart from the mess of trains that I've got on my bedroom and stuff. It's crazy somehow when I've got a big load of mess of toy trains and whatnot. So, I might as well just straightforward review on the bed today. What do you reckon? Even though it's a tad messy. Okay, so I might as well just straightforward just brush away all of this weird amount of random stuff at the moment here. Okay, I've got this stuff right here. And, okay, so the toys I'm going to be taking a look at is this. That's weird. Why does it cost me £32? It's a Flip Flop Origami Village Wild Collection, Black-Headed Gull and Fishery Robbery 12 pack. I don't know why it's been marketed for basically at least about £32, which doesn't really make sense because it appears a little bit cheap. I think it's mainly because it's so time consuming to make these toys, and I haven't done these types of toys for a long time. It's one of these things, maybe I might as well just start thinking about making more of these products, or do you want me to think about me making the penguins, because that's my final sense, because obviously I've been straightforward thinking about designing penguins and that sort of stuff, but because I'm actually sort of thinking, well, I might as well just quarantine from the idea for a bit, because I'm going to focus on my animation next week. I think from the latter part of next week, the weather is about to be unsettled, so that might give me a better chance of, well, let's just say doing some animating, because I think I seem to perform a bit better when I'm doing animating in duller conditions. So I'm just going to unpack this beast and see what we've got. Okay, just slowly and steady. Out they come. So what have we got? We've got giant croissants. It seems like I haven't done any toy reviews for a long period of time. And it's crazy because, you know, maybe next month there will be amount of toy reviews to come. So we've got this, what's that? Is that a female goosander? There's the other side of that toy there. It's a fantastic design of a duck right there. That is a goosander. It's a female one. Okay, and then you've also got this male goosander duck. It's quite interesting. I've been making a lot of these toys for a fairly long time. I don't know why, but I've somehow been a bit more successful at making these toys. Fairly interesting, isn't it? And then apart from the goosanders and the super glue on my flippin' skin, I've also made some fish. Are they supposed to be carp or a totally different fish specimen? I've got no flippin' idea. Okay, and then we've also got some seagulls, black-handed ones. There's a little bit of overspraying, which is not that great on the heads and whatnot, but it does somehow look nice. It feels good in the hand. I mean, ho-hum. Why would I even bother just reviewing these toys? The same designs as others. Quite weird, isn't it? And then, okay, yeah, I think I've seen so many of these birds. Just fairly too much. I feel like, you know, I'm sort of thinking I need to bring back flip-flap origami flapping birds. That would have been so much better than just doing toys like that. Oh, man. Okay, so we've got these toys right here. Right in front of my hands. And I mean, I'm not going to sound like I'm a complete smart aleck and just straightforward get into Wikipedia on those specimens and whatnot. Well, actually I do. And what is that? Is that a rat? That's quite interesting. I haven't had rats for a long time. That's quite unusually big for a rat. Looks like a monkey than a rat to me, but it actually is a rat. Quite interesting. And there's the ears, which haven't been coloured in. Strangely enough, I don't know why they're white. Maybe for cheap reasons. And then we've got two giant croissants. They actually look fairly spiffo and very large. It's quite a very large size thing. And there's the other one. Okay. It's quite crazy that I'm just getting two of these. But, hey, it's a nice one. It's a very nice looking product. I mean, how the heck would I not even know about making lots of toys, apart from the overspraying and whatnot though, hey? Okay, so, right, let me just move on to just the other toy here, before I get into too much trouble on today's stupid YouTube. And we'll take a look at this one right here. So, this one right here has actually got super glue glued into the entire artwork. Now, I know this would have been done by an existing envelope, which unfortunately decided to rip from the top and basically shatter and basically break the whole envelope into pieces. So that's why I've just added it into another substitute envelope, and it's called the Urban Sheltered Marsh Ponds toy pack. I was going to say a different word, but look at the price, £17.50. Now, isn't this a bit unfair to have a pricing like this? Well, let me just go ahead and show you at the back. Well, maybe it would have actually been a lot much more better if it was much more expensive than that, because given how time-consuming it was, same with this one here. But this one is actually a lot much more time-consuming to make. Remembering my flip-flop toys aren't always that great when it comes into being time-consuming to be fully detailed. Out they come. Okay, so we've got the black-headed gulls and other whatnot, so they're basically just the same birds all over again. I mean, ho-hum, there's no variations going on here. It would have been so much better if there was like a first summer version, but we don't. As funny as it sounds, I don't know why, but that's just somehow as stupid as it sounds. Oh well, but anyways, apart from these buggers, let's take a look at the... Is that a tufted duck? That is a male tufted duck. I wonder why the head is a bit more clearer and bluer in this one here. Normally I tend to associate them with it being a bit much more of a blackish looking bird, or duck as we're going to call it. I don't know if there's any variations of green and purple going about, because I have already made them from like in previous toy reviews. And we've also got this female tufted duck. Now, this one to me is not the best, because I think the brown is probably on, you know, it's a very totally different shade. And same with the body, same with this major brown here, of all of that dark brown. It's not that dark enough, it's not really that black. A little bit disappointing actually, but that's how I really describe somehow. But I think the real eye candy here are the fish.
which are supposed to be based on common bream, which is quite strange for a type of fish, if you ask me, but somehow it really sort of lifts the toy up. It's quite nice. Obviously, they're nicely detailed, but they're not perfect. Obviously, it's just the body and that sloppy bit of painting in it. Okay, I'm actually just straightforward bored on doing these types of toys. Now, let me just go back to the subject I was in. So, I think from now on, I'm off to probably like ground my tablet temporarily because, unfortunately, I've actually have lost my qualifications of becoming a lot much more responsible of the stuff that I've got, because clearly I'm just so clumsy and a bit dim-witted, and actually I think I was actually kind of distracted, so that's why I got carried away, and that's why I've left my my backpack and my tablet so far today, and that was actually very embarrassing, in fact extremely embarrassing. So anyways, I might as well just straightforward end this torturous toy review and just stop right there. And I'm off to be in a calmer situation right now because at this moment that I'm in, it's not looking that bright. So if you really enjoyed this video, please give this video a good like, subscribe for more of our toy reviews in the future, and as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'm gonna say next, don't you? Bye for now.